Don't it feel like we're in the Hunger Games? Right? Like, once you start to get the grasp of credit, or at least you think you're getting your credit score up to where you can start having more buying capacity and all that other good stuff, then all of a sudden, they throw a screwball at us. And so now when you thought you was making some progress, what happens? Our credit score drops. Not because of anything we did, but because they started using a different credit model, which reflects a lower credit score for most who are trying to improve their credit score, and a better credit score for those who already have a good credit score. Looks like there's a big separation, right? I mean, if you're working on your credit and your credit score, 550, 580, you're trying to get it up to 620, 640, and then all of a sudden you take a setback, and you get punished. That's just like how it was in the Hunger Games. They throw a screwball at you when they feel like you're catching on, you're understanding a little bit too much, you're getting ahead. They want to suppress you a little bit longer. They want to hold you back a little bit longer, keep mixing it up so you don't get on track, you don't catch a wave and catch a rhythm. This is why I put so much emphasis on credit building. So the question I have is, what is the biggest impact of this new credit change, right? This new credit model they introduced, which is FICO Score 10. Before they had, FICO Score 2, Model 3, Model 8, 9. Now we have FICO Score 10. So with this new change to the FICO score model, basically it's expecting to affect about 110 million people. They're putting emphasis on debt over the last, we're putting emphasis on your total debt. And, if the debt is decreasing, they're putting emphasis on the last 24 months of your credit profile of your recent payments. So as I mentioned before, in the last video, or the video before, I put emphasis on debt, student loan debt. And this is why I'm talking about a lot of this stuff, because a lot of people's student loans are in deferment, right? And so and while you're in deferment, well, the interest on the student loans are building, it's growing. And so now with the new credit model, these things are going to impact you negatively. So, we just have to take the driver's seat of our credit profile, period. And I spoke about this before. I'm going to speak about it again. I'm going to continue to speak about it, because credit and debt are the two most common topics of every conversation and every consultation. Credit, debt. They're the two main factors that's holding people back from progressing in life, from making good investments, from being able to afford more with the same income that their counterparts may make. So you have to make sure that the credit companies are not the only ones that's reporting to our credit profile, meaning that you have to take ownership. You have to do self-reporting. You have to make sure your daily activities are set up in a system or a process that report all your good behavior, because you're going to need consistent reporting of good behavior, and not just things that's adding debt to your credit profile. You need good behavior that's adding on what you're doing on the daily, and also showing low debt, also showing that your debt is decreasing. Right? It's going to be important. So how does it impact you? Well, if you've been accumulating a lot of debt, or if your student loan debt is growing of interest because you're having a deferment, well, your debt is growing. So now that activity is going to impact you negatively. So again, put emphasis on this, man. We have to take the driver's seat of our credit profile. Period. Cash is king, but credit is powerful. Credit gives us more buying capacity. We have to take the driver's seat.